Hello, this training is in regards to children or students who have difficulty playing games. I've worked with several kids lately who don't know how to lose. And so what I see happening is people will stop playing games with them, or they'll start making it to where the child always wins. And so I really have to talk with people about that's not helping anybody out. We have to work on teaching kids how to be okay with losing, or it's going to set them up for a lifelong of struggles if they don't know how to handle losing. So thinking about losing instead of they're just being a brat, or they just you know want to win all the time, really think about it as a teaching opportunity and a skill deficit. So thinking about how can we break down losing into teachable steps that so that way they can participate in games. Like everything, so many things that children do and even adults do involves somebody winning, somebody losing. So if we can teach them this skill, it will open up so many more opportunities for them. We also have to appreciate the passion, right? So when I have students, children that I work with who have trouble losing, what that tells me is that they are very passionate about playing games and doing things like that. But we just have to teach them that it's okay. It's okay to lose. Everybody loses sometimes, and people win sometimes. So here's some steps for how to do that. So where to start? I usually start with an adult versus a child versus a group of children. That's a little less predictable. So I make it as predictable as I can when I'm first starting. So, and I'll let the child know ahead of time that we're going to practice losing. Okay, I will start with more of an easy, short game, not a highly preferred game. So I'm not going to get out their favorite game and say we're going to practice losing, right? We're just setting the situation up for failure. And I'm also not going to start with a game like Monopoly that takes 3 hours and then when you're done you either win or lose. I'm going to start with something real easy that can give them lots of practice and it's quick. So, and something that has a black and white rules, because the other thing I've seen for kids who have trouble with losing is they'll kind of start, sometimes we'll bend the rules a little bit to make it fit them so they can win. And so something that's really black and white. So one of my favorite games to do is War with game cards. So it's just one of those things. It's all luck. There's no strategy involved. It's a good game to start. You just flip a card over, they flip a card over, the higher number wins. Okay, it's not a super emotional game. It's just a good way just to practice that. So I flip mine over, he flips his over, mine's higher, his is lower, he loses, and then I work on a script. So I work with them on saying, I'll be okay, I can try again. And then I provide them some type of reinforcement. Okay, so this sounds weird that we're using reinforcement to teach them how to lose, but it's a skill. It's a hard skill for them. And so I'll use maybe in War, we'd practice it. I'd get my dry erase board out. We'd practice it 5 times. Every time they lost and they said this script, maybe took a couple deep breaths, they would get a check mark. And when they got 5 check marks, they would get access to something that they like. Okay, I'm not going to do that forever because the kids that we're talking about are motivated to play games. Like they're wanting games to play games, and so eventually the motivation will be playing more games. But in the beginning, you might have to add some other type of motivation. So then thinking about the next step would be to how to make it more challenging. So once they can do those real simple black and white quick games, you're going to want to start increasing those expectations, making it more natural. Okay, so I might start adding longer game with more strategy. So instead of just it's all about luck, I flip a card over, you flip a card over, it might involve a little bit more strategy. More preferred games, so maybe going to something that they like where they get to pick a game. I would also start gradually adding more children in the mix to where hopefully it could be just children and not the adult, but maybe adding 1 or 2 at a time. And then I would go to more of a less structured game with some more gray areas in the rules. So even like, a game of basketball out on the playground. That's less structure. There's a lot more gray areas in that. So then you could move to more of a less structured game once they have all those other once they're successful in those other types of games. Some additional tips: be patient. This can take time, and don't give up on it. Like I said earlier, this is a really important skill for children to learn how to do. And we got to be patient. We need to make sure we keep a neutral attitude about it, and so not getting frustrated with them, and really letting them know it just is what it is. Sometimes I lose, sometimes I win, sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. I've had some kids where they were really liked different athletes, and so I would show them, we would do searches on their favorite athletes and show them times when their favorite athletes lose. And so that kind of helped them see that everybody loses at some point in their life. And don't forget about that reinforcement. So, I said that a little earlier, but making sure that, especially in the beginning, that we're giving them something, a high reinforcement for this, because this is a really hard skill for them. So making sure that we're using a structure to give them reinforcement and encouragement as they are learning this new skill of losing. So thank you, and have a great day.